Welcome back. As we promised, we are going to speak about tourism and about the most important developments in this sector. Well, thank God the flow of tourists to Egypt is increasing, and it seems that we are going to regain all the numbers of tourists or our guests who are visiting Egypt annually before what was going on before COVID-19 and before the restrictions on tourism. Of course, all the tourism sector all over the world, not only in Egypt, suffered because of this, but today the case is different, and inshallah it's going to continue to the better. Well, to shed more light on the efforts exerted to promote the tourism sector, to shed more light on the efforts to increase also the guests who are visiting us, and to diversify our sources of tourism, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone Mr. Ahmed Nour, our tourism expert. A very good morning to you, Mr. Nour.
Good morning, Nermeen. Good morning.
Sir, let's go immediately and speak about the issue. Let me know your vision regarding the efforts exerted to promote the tourism sector.
Thanks for God that the number of tourists who are coming to Egypt increased recently, because many people were waiting during the corona pandemic. They weren't able to travel. But after they opened again the airport and the sightseeing, the tourists who weren't able to come in this 2 years, they started to organize to travel and to come to Egypt. With the efforts and the propaganda that it made by government and the Ministry of Tourism in Egypt, the number of tourists to Egypt increased again, especially last few months. And next October and November, the hotels in Cairo and Sharm el Sheikh are full. We have reservation until now. Maybe we have no place. So it means that we are waiting a big number. So also something so important, inshallah, that we have to construct and open a new hotel, because actually we have some requests and reservation. We aren't able to confirm
till the moment.
Till the moment, because of the number of tourists that we are waiting in the next few months, because many people now are organizing to come and to see the inauguration of the gem, or the Grand Egyptian Museum. We have many efforts, like you asked, in this sector of tourism, because tourism is one of the main economic sources in Egypt after petrol and the Suez Canal, and tourism is an important source of foreign currency for Egypt, and industry usually for up to 15% of the country's gross domestic product. So we have many efforts of government and Ministry of Tourism, especially after the difficulties that we had in 2011 and 2013, and also after the crash of Russian flight in 2015.
Let's focus, sir, if you permit me, on the bright and positive side of the coin regarding the efforts. And I'm going to name some, and would you please give me your priorities, or which should come first? Renovation of museums and construction of new museums, new discoveries, and the wonderful propaganda which was made by His Excellency Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, inviting the ambassadors to join him regarding these discoveries. Wonderful global ceremonies like the one of the royal mummies, and of course it was showed all over the world in hundreds of channels. Which of them comes first?
Both come first, because both are making the best propaganda, but really the celebration of the transportation of mummies from the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square to the National Egyptian Museum of Civilization at Al Fustat. This celebration made the best propaganda in all the world. And when our president was receiving the royal mummy in the National Egyptian Museum of Civilization, with this big celebration, this is made the best propaganda. And after that, maybe also the celebration that we had seen when they opened the road of the ram-headed statues and the Sphinx between Karnak Temple and the Luxor Temple. And this celebration also all the world was watching, and the number of tourists increased after this big celebration with the opening of this museum and the road of the Sphinx between Karnak and Luxor Temple. We noticed that it made the best propaganda. Also, we can't forget the new excavations in the last few years, especially in this area of Saqqara, with this big number of sarcophagus that they found there, and also other excavations in Tuna al-Jabal and Elmenia and other in Luxor and Al-Asasif with the discoveries. And the new discoveries, this is made the best propaganda. I like also to mention that both the government and international tourism operators
agencies
have recognized a need for stimulation in the industry and resulting in change in the country in tourism sector. That we can notice that already seen through the actions of the organization, such as Egypt's Tourism Development Agency, that we call TDA. That is an organization designed to act the link between the government policy period and the private investors. So this is so important. That we can add with the excavation and the inauguration also of the new museum and everywhere in Sharm el-Sheikh and Hurghada. Also, I would like to mention that the strategy of the Ministry of Tourism was to launch the international promotion campaign for Egyptian tourism started at 2021. Officials from the Canadian and the English Alliance have helped to prepare the
In fact, sir,
strategy.
there are many decisions made by His Excellency Dr. Al-Anani. Last but not least, it was about photography in the streets without permission. Now, it doesn't need permission. And this means that we can also move to movies, moving to the cinema, moving to inviting casts from all over the world to come and shoot their movies here. And this is going to be another source of attraction. How do you see this as a move from our cabinet or from the Ministry of Tourism?
We had seen this efforts from Ministry of Tourism, and also to invite these ambassadors when they opened a new museum or when we have a new discovery. We have sometimes more than 40 ambassadors from different countries. Each one will reflect that to his country. And all this is the best propaganda that we have, and also the number of personality from all the world that were invited from Ministry of Tourism, and with the famous names that we had in last few years in movie, in football, in sport, in everywhere. This is made a propaganda because each one of this has followers thousands and maybe
Sure.
millions of
And each
followers
one who is
from all
going to
the
take a
world.
photo here in our streets is going to turn back with unforgettable moments and is going to act as an ambassador to Egypt. Well, Mr. Ahmed Noureddin, our tourism expert, thank you very much for your input, sir, and have a very good day. And by this, we come to the end of our episode. Tomorrow is another day with another crew. Stay tuned on Nile TV International always for more updates. And for more details, please log on to www.nileinternational.net. You were in the company of my dear colleague and friend Amal Mukhtar and myself, Nermeen Abdurrahman. Many thanks for watching.